Hey, what's going on, guys? Gonna try out Marksman. That's the last one that we haven't looked at today. So we do have Falconer being unlocked in 1.0 next week, and there's also going to be the new mastery for Acolyte, the Warlock, which I went over some of the abilities on YouTube. But I'm going to try Marksman because it's the only one I haven't tried yet today and see how that feels before launch. I don't know what I'm going to actually play for 1.0. I haven't decided yet. I haven't tried any of I haven't tried the other two Sentinels.
I survived by my skill and cunning, a rogue for hire. The wealthy of the city found me useful in making problems disappear. One job changed everything. A disguised Nagasa woman hired me for a hit on the vessel maiden Apophis. The day came. It was her first appearance to the public. My bow was ready. Apophis was in my sight, but just as I was about to loose the arrow, I realized that she was none other than the woman who hired me. Was this a trap? Some game among the priestesses? I wanted no part of it, so I fled. I now travel to Welvin, looking to put this kind of trouble behind me.
Alright, so we're going to have to find a bow, because it starts us off with a dagger, I think. Maybe we'll get lucky off one of the first couple mobs. I think they should start Rogue with a bow in their inventory, just in case you want to go ranged right from the start. No? Take that. The neat thing is that some of the abilities will work either or. It'll be bow or melee.
Aski wishes to destroy us and steal Atera's legacy. We can't let that happen.
Yeah, we only tried Void Knight on the Sentinel so far, but I'm curious if the other two are going to get big patch reworks on 1.0. There's a quiver. Oh, and a bow. Dick. It does not cleave like in melee. Okay.
Easy. Too easy.
Don't shoot shurikens out of the bow. Yo, what up, Cigar? What's new? It's not going to be good for groups right there until we find a different bow ability. Unless I can kite stuff off screen. Good to be a Wednesday, not a Monday. Any day that gets closer to the weekend. Man. Well, shift will be good to help me kite, I guess. As Puncture is probably good on bow because that should go through an entire group. Probably don't want to use any of the throwing skills. Yeah, I mean, really, like, the main thing is you want to get good enough synergy with your with the scaling tags. Because we're limited on how many affixes we can have on gear. So you really don't want to go too hybrid with your build, otherwise you're going to be middling at everything. So, do I have any gear that has a... Yeah, so basically how it works is you only get 2 and 2. You don't get 6 like in PoE. And your prefixes and your suffixes are limited on what it can be applied to. I'm not going to do anything with that because I think I have a unique quiver in my stash once we get to town. And like if you look at shurikens, it has physical and throwing attack, but like flurry has bow attack and doesn't have throwing attack. So I wouldn't want to prioritize trying to do both in one build. Unless I had like some item or something that gave me a really good synergy for both of them. Probably going to want to change that out for Pierce.
When you arrived, was there a family?
Definitely more attack speed to machine gun through mobs too.
It was my... They were... I can... What? Are you all good? Name's Goose. Come, let me watch you fight.
You guys do anything for Valentine's tonight?
Smoke.
Extra critical strike chance. Went up to lunch. Nice. Missing attacks for some reason. I think when they go up in the air, like their hitbox shifts.
As Orion ordered.
I don't see that one hit him. Maybe because he was frozen on that last one.
So much destruction. And for what?
All right, so I really want to use any of these, I don't think. Flurry is now channeled. Additional resistances. Every 6th shot is replaced with a multi-shot. Deals more damage. All right. What else do we have here? Increased attack speed for each hit you deal with your previous flurry up to a maximum. What's this side? Bleeds. Extra damage. Grant health and mana. Okay, that's a melee talent on that side. I mean, the multi-shot might not be terrible. Really no point in specializing in any of the other skills at the moment anyway, so try this. I can always switch it up later. It almost seems like the throwing attacks and the range attacks have a little dead zone in front of them where, like, I'm not actually hitting anything.
Where'd you learn to fight?
I do kind of like the that dodge skill.
Quick, before it reaches town. Well done. We're almost there. I'll see you ahead.
Probably don't need a brass scepter. Stick it in the bow and shoot it.
Sounds like the keepers agree. It's now. Speaking of, I must head there now. Feel free to.
Not happening.
Let me see what I have in my stash. Chance to apply frostbite. I don't think these will work on a non-melee build. I thought I had a second quiver somewhere. And actually I don't actually have any other extra stashes in here either. Okay, I guess not. What does this thing do? Requires level 44 anyway. Oh, bleeding poison converted to frostbite if I'm using puncture. Okay, so if we're gonna run puncture and we're gonna run it with cold damage, we can run it with that quiver. I don't know if we're gonna do that or not. We'll find out later. Stay tuned. Come on, game, you can do it.
Grail was just telling me one there, both, not even could you. They should do this, and our alliance is secure.
Do this.
We'll lend our aid to heal Borea's army.
Maybe some of the enemies they must just have iframes for some of their like activations. Because I just whiffed on those guys too. Might be far too many to... Okay, I feel better about puncture. Okay, that's melee weapon part. We can get... more damage per enemy peers. I was hoping we could get multi-shot or something on this. Okay, we might set it up so Flurry's better for single target. Like for bosses. I could put it down into Giant Slayer instead. And then use Puncture for clearing packs. Maybe we'll see how that goes. It just sucks I'm not going to be able to specialize Puncture into level 8. Yeah, that might not be too bad. That is just destroying everything. Yeah, that's pretty effective, I think. And it wants to hit. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. Let me just see why my phone is freaking out. Okay. Oh, we're good. Might have to rely on this poison flask to do a little bit of lifting for me too while we're at it.
Now, as Orion ordered.
Yeah, like I keep shooting underneath them when they go in the air. I don't know what the deal with that is. It seems odd that it does it specifically with the bow attack. I haven't noticed spells do that on the mage.
For Ryan!
Yeah, Pierce seems to have like a little bit of a
For Ryan!
wider hitbox too. Oh God. So the problem I'm foreseeing with Flurry is that I'm not going to be able to stick and move like I can with Puncture. Especially on bosses that spam dumb abilities like that. So that's going to be not great. Could just what are our other options here? Need some Tums. Yeah, all the bird guys have very bad heartburn. Using shift grants you jade arrows. Using a bow attack consumes a jade arrow to have increased critical strike chance and a chance to poison enemies. Also increases damage over time. Shifting can restore mana. You have a chance to drop an acid flask on departure. All right, this is gonna kind of suck, but I'm gonna despecialize that. I'm gonna lose 2 skill points on it, but I think this is better. We're gonna go over to Frenzy, and then I'm gonna come this way. And then when I hit level 8, I'll put dash into the level 8 slot.
As Orion ordered! Huh?
This should theoretically let me be more mobile. Sagara, have you seen me do the actual boss fight for this area yet? Talking about needing some Tums. Few, okay. You guys are so nice to stack up in that kill box for me. Chance to stun is probably also worth looking into putting on my equipment. I don't think we can get knockback. I think it's just stun. It's gonna be one of those fire guys. think we're gonna have better. Yeah, hail of arrows. I think we'll have better AoE options for, like, you know, more around us once we specialize.
As Orion order.
Yeah, like, not having that like pass through just does not feel as good to me. Still missing gloves too. Well, that might not be bad to have. Okay, so we're gonna take Frenzy and then go over here for that extra damage on for every pierce.
I.
Very curious to see what the rest of the patch notes are going to be bringing us next week for the 1.0 on the 21st. They're already changing up a couple of the skills for Primalist, and they put those patch notes out, so I'm curious what other abilities are going to get rebalanced or adjusted. Okay, that stacks up quite a lot of bleed with enough attack speed. Yeah, okay. Definitely liking Puncture. I don't think I want cast speed. I think I want attack speed. So I might just put a multiplier on it for when we do get criticals. We'll put dexterity on it too, because that gives us extra scaling. Extra 4% of damage per point of dexterity. Okay, and that's as much as we can upgrade it right now. Not gonna bother doing that.
This way. You're here to help. Protect the sun! The drake! Tread carefully.
Easy. Too easy.
Definitely want cooldown reduction at some point for the dive attack.
Not here. It isn't safe. We'll reconvene outside. That should hold them. First of the house, what do you mean here? Or I did. Well, tell you what. Let's get out of here first, and then I'll explain more. These peace talks are hardly worth it if you don't know why Orion is after us.
Try to see if we can hit level 8 before we get out of here. We'll probably have to go to the new zone. Might not be enough. Might not be enough mobs in here. I don't know if when they do the ambush in the beginning there, if you lose XP for kills the NPCs get. I've never really paid attention to the bar. I mean, that just feels so much better going through going through packs with this than with Flurry. I don't know, maybe we're kind of close on the level here.
Easy. Too easy.
Yeah, we should definitely get it here. There we go. I'm gonna put shift on there. Try this poison thing with Jade Quiver. Before we see if we need the mana and the dodge rating stuff. Probably skip the shuriken thing because we're not going to specialize in shuriken. Although I think if you're gonna go with a throwing build, go with shuriken and acid flask on your other two specializations, because this just gives you even more chances to proc them while you're moving without having to waste trying to get them off and eating like an AoE or something. Okay, so we get Frenzy. Look at that. Just equip a pair of gloves too. Oh, I can use smoke bomb though. Give me a little more defense. Okay, this part actually had a lot more enemies in it than I remembered it having.
I'm sure you have questions, but let me first check and make sure the Epoch's safe.
Deckard, no.
A Terra's blessing.
Everything okay?
No, everything is not okay.
Are you stay safe, stay alive, and bring Balthus back.
We're like the opposite of okay right now. Every time you hit with puncture, it resets that cooldown on Fury. That little eyeball icon next to my health bar. Let's hit more incorrect buttons to get what I want to get to. I don't even think, like, so every skill, like, it can have 2 skill points. And putting another skill point in it basically gives you a second on the duration, but I don't think that's even necessarily required. What this would do is every third attack, it consumes all the bleed stacks to do bonus damage. Which might work out with Bloodthirst. Because that gives extra stacks. That would increase the damage every time every third puncture went off. And then 5 points in this would give us 100% bleed chance. If we go that route, we're going to want to keep an eye out on gear that has like extra chance to apply conditions. There's gloves. Well, there's a pair of gloves, not a particularly good pair of gloves, but, you know. Melee and throwing speed. All right, not what I need. Ooh, we got lucky. I'm gonna try this increased stun chance and see if that helps kind of help keep packs away from me. Damage over time on this should affect our bleed damage, I believe. I'm gonna save the forging potential for the dexterity. I didn't notice we could get a decoy. Oh, it doesn't have bow attack. It has throwing. Let's see what it looks like. Well, they still go for it. Oh, that almost killed a bunch of them.
It ends here!
Okay, I have one forging potential left. Decent enough to work with. So we gave ourselves more attack speed, extra critical strike chance, more bleed chance, and a little bit of healing when we kill something on that bow. Still alive. Okay. Well, actually, what I can try to do. So this one that I stripped the bow attack off of, I can actually use one of these. And then shatter this and get these back as shards. I'm gonna shatter this for that. Okay, I was trying to get that bow attack speed.
Charge!
I do like the crafting minigame in this because you're trying to balance your the risk of your forge potential with like pushing how much you can upgrade an item.
As Orion order.
Don't understand how I'm not hitting that guy. Unless there's like a grace, like there's an invulnerability zone on the edge of the screen. Fight this. Can already foresee some of the boss fights being very interesting with a ranged build like this, but we'll have to see how they go when we get there.
You're here for the Epoch. Reaching me was impressive, but it's mine. Core member wing. Burn!
Whoop, wrong button.
is ours! Raya, aid me! Burn! Raya! No, but Raya! Now get me out of here! Oh, I will.
GG.
Which, speaking of, let's head back to camp. I must reach Lena at once.
Okay, I think before we take this, we go for the extra bleed stacks first. Take this jade quiver.
Oh, if more which, speaking of, let's head back to camp. I must reach Lena at once.
So that every third melee attack or bow attack does bonus damage is going to stack with that every third pierce does bonus damage. At least that's my assumption. Up a little more water here.
Etera's blessing.
He's back. He's been...
Go back. No, not do you go? I own Lena.
Hey guys, check this out.
This is what's best for us all. With the Epoch's power, I'll finally be able to...
So basically, what's happened? If Cigar, if you missed when I went through all the dialogue boxes and stuff on the Void Knight playthrough, these shards have the ability to let you like jump timelines. So he has two of them. There's three pieces to make the Epoch whole. So he has two of them. He uses the two of them. He tries to go into the future to like get them away from the invading army. And you end up getting sucked along with him, and you find one of the shards here, and now we're in the Yuck century. So all the bird guys worship like a phoenix god. And that god is trying to get the shards of the Epoch to do whatever. And the people you're interacting with are like a different god's chosen protectors of the relic. Yeah, okay, so now we're stacking up a ton of bleed. See if I can stack up multiples of these. Just one. Okay. Basically, always dodge, so I have one running.
Hello. Bless Sotero's name.
And the town guard's like, what are you doing out here? No one's supposed to be out here. And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not from here. Oh, I can prime that every third attack does damage too. Don't want to be super try hard about it.
Easy. Too easy.
Yeah, it's probably more worth it to detonate the bleed stacks to kill stuff quicker.
Terra watch over you. Gods.
Okay, I think there's a bug because it's showing me a different buff than Bloodthirst. It's telling me I have some melee buff, but I'm assuming it's working as it's intended.
Yes? Gods be with you.
Minimus, run you stupid one.
Farewell.
I need to actually be going the other way to get the other side mission done. Go this way first and then loop back around. Thanks, boys. I'm right across that bridge in a nice orderly line for me. going this way.
Gods be with you. Stay safe.
Guess maybe this way is the better route to go, because you can hit this guy first, come here, and then go straight out the other side of the map. Yeah, 'cause I don't think I even have to go that way. I think I can just go this side. At least I think that's right. Your monsters, stop spawning so I can look at loot. What do we get? We got the slab. They've returned the slab. %35% block chance with 57% reduced block chance. Okay. That seems weird, but it has 100% less damage taken on block. You may get even more bleed stacks for that burst damage. Here, guys, look at this decoy. Let's take this and see what this ends up doing.
What brings you here? Eterra's grace be with you.
Get out. And then we can just exit. Yeah, alright. So I think going like down and around is the quicker route then for that side quest.
Easy. Too easy.
Yeah, I don't know if there's an effect proccing off of that. I'm not really seeing it. Unless it's just in the numbers. I'm expecting it to do like a little explosion or something.
You there, help me.
Easy. Too.
Keep them off me. Only a little longer. You there, help me.
So it looks like it's not taking the bleed stacks off. Oh, I gotta go down here to this one. That's why. I thought that was just the healing. I was getting the bonuses confused. Okay, so I gotta put at least 1 point in the mutilate. Reading comprehension, kiddos. Stay in school. Go to your local library.
You were brought elder. I have received. Please, the gods have lost.
All right, so here's another piece of the
Will give you.
epoch.
Be safe, traveler.
We gotta go find another one. Have any bow stuff? I don't think so. We have to play backpack Tetris now with these idle slots. We need to clear a bunch of these out at some point. I don't think those are maybe the best, but they'll do.
Yes. Follow your feet.
What?
Go on then. Bah.
Gold won't save you, but a blade might. Stay safe out there.
Okay, I've got to go and get the bookie's book as a side mission. And we can choose to give it to one of the guys that owes him money. And the more I think about it, it's the better choice. I'll show you why. Alright, so we have to find Elder Ezra's ledger in Ezra's library, which is right here. We have the option either to give it to him or to give it to Artem the Gambler. If we take a peek in the ledger, it goes over all the people that owe him money. Grund, converted debt comes to 12 bundles of meat and 4 casks of Groll milk. Grund's recent financial issues have become worse. Adjust debt conversion to reduce the difficulty of repayment. Sable, 500 gold marks and 24 rations. Note, deceased. Debt nullified. Gemis, 1200 gold marks. Note, deceased. Debt nullified. Return jewelry held as collateral to nearest relative or associate. So, Grund's already paid him off. These two guys are dead. Artem, the guy that we can give the book to. Debt repayment not likely. I must refuse to play more games of chance with Artem. Empire bones, oracle cards, and even betting on beetle fights. He keeps losing and only increases his debt. So we're going to take this and I'm going to give it to Artem, knowing that he's going to read it and figure out that he's a fucking loser. So morally, it's the proper choice. Because no one else in the book has to be collected on according to those notes. We got Ballista. We don't need to worry about the dual wielding talents. We probably should have gone into this movement speed stuff but I'm kind of hoping with shift I won't need it. He says hopefully. Let's see how ballista does. Okay, that is quite slow. But it does hit hard. Okay, so with dexterity scaling, it's going to get faster attack speed. Okay, that's kind of funny. Using the decoy and the ballista. I can have more than one ballista out. Okay. Oh, I can have two. All right. Two is still more than one. Doesn't say that in the notes anywhere, though. That's basically just free damage for when I need to maneuver. That's a big boy. Two ballistas eats up like all my mana and then some, and I died. Thank God we're not playing hardcore. That's funny, I moved the ballistas with me. So we're trying to figure out where the other guy took the shard to, and nope, turns out they're cultists. kill this guy first. And I don't need any of that crap.
Gods be with you.
I need to go find the armory.
Panion's elder Panion was here but a moment ago. He took the shard. I told him to wait, but he would not listen.
That son of a bitch.
Please, stop him.
Alright, so we're gonna give this guy the ledger.
Stay safe. It's getting dangerous
He
out
gives us an amulet. Okay, probably do not need that at the moment because I have the extra crit built into this build. We'll stash that. It's a 100% critical strike chance if you haven't struck recently. Minus 50% crit chance if you do. Or if you have.
Follow your feet.
Okay, do I need... I'm gonna say I go with this for now. We might swap this out later. We'll see what that does for us. Have to remember these stupid husk things constantly poop zombies out because they are aggravating. Oh shit, right. Boss fight. There we go. Into the time hole. Okay. So the only thing that mutilate gets us if we dumped more points into it would be an extra 10 HP that we get back on health per stack. Gonna try to come over this way and get this armor shred on top of the bleed damage. Back out of Jurassic Park. And back over here.
Easy. Too easy.
Hello, unique bow. What do we have here? Increased critical strike chance, an extra charge for our shift ability. 70 shield when we use shift. Extra charge for smoke bomb. 51 ward gain when you use smoke bomb. Wow. We use both of those. $18 bow damage. 3% critical strike. Look at that. Streamer luck confirmed. So I can do this and that. And then do it again. And actually, that would give me a whole bunch of stacks on Jade Arrow once I get more skill points into it. Interesting. Shadow string. Yeah, we'll have to see if there's some way we can get damage onto smoke bomb. Feels like every single puncture is doing this, not every third. So I'm not seeing it get any bleed stacks at all now. I think what I'll need to do is maybe get this so I get more stacks of bleed. Oh no, so what that's saying is it's not giving me 3 stacks of bleed, it's giving me 3 stacks of the buff. Oh, I know why. It's because this had all the bleed chance on it, didn't it? Yeah. So we went down to 6% bleed chance, but... So I can't put that on the bow because you can't forge uniques. What I can do is I can reclaim some of these shards if we get lucky here. Okay, we got one of the chance to bleed on hit shards back. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for... something else I can put the bleed on there, or the alternative is to... let's see, 15% per point. That gets me well up to... let's see, 30, 60%. I put 4 points in that. One more point in this would be 30%. At 3 stacks is 90% bleed chance if I'm reading that right. So if I got one more point here, that should be 120% bleed chance. And the reason why you would overcap is because certain enemies can have higher resistances. So like you could basically put their resistances into the negative. The other alternative is just I leave this as it is. I don't touch these. I just put because it'd be extra points there. It'd be 3 points in there. Split, or 3 points in here, and I get 100% bleed chance with perforate. I might not, yeah, like that's kind of dumb. I don't even necessarily need this. I'll leave this point in here for now, but I might not even need that point in there. If I just max this out to 100%, I can just jump over here to Splinter instead and not have to spend the points to go up and around. No, I'll look it up. I'll look it up more in depth later.
Eterra's grace be with you. Take care of yourself.
Go for this way so we grab the teleport point. Yeah, I think we're going to get rid of that ability because, like, the tooltip isn't right. And I don't know if that's bugged or if the ability itself isn't working until the update. It says CDR on it. Okay, yeah. So it could be cool if I could throw smoke bomb on a pack.
Gods.
Get out. Oh, you are a minion. Okay, get a little tankier there. Power up our ballista a little bit.
Stay back.
Boss fight time.
Accept nothingness. Oblivion.
Don't know why it's not showing my attack going off for some reason half the time. Like, it's not registering that I'm hitting him. There we go. Oh, he's like just straight up not taking damage. If I put the ballistas farther away from him? Like, it's... I can't fire across the middle of the room at him for some reason. It's like it still thinks the, yeah, look at that. Like, it won't fire the arrow through where like his body was before the boss fight. That's really weird. Okay, we got the other part of the shard back. Now we're gonna go hang out with Chrono Trigger at the end of time. It's very odd that the bow skills seem janky compared to the other casting in the game, like the other ranged abilities. I did not notice that on Acolyte or on the Mage. But like I said, 1.0 update's coming out next week, so I'm sure there will be fixes. Game. Okay. Fixes to things like that.
You seem a little disoriented. This is what is left of your timeline, and many others. Welcome to the end of time. Don't act so surprised. Countless other travelers have come and gone from here. I must have looked that surprised my first time as well. Most of them don't last much longer. Jumping around timelines is a dangerous hobby. If you want a better chance, you should find your friend, Gasper. He might be kind enough to show you how to tap into your true potential.
Okay. So this is where we unlock our Ascended class.
You've woken up. You then close.
Our mastery. So we're going to take Marksman.
Focus on the potential.
Falconer is the one that's going to be coming out on 1.0.
Guide the shades to you.
It's not the right icon for detonating arrow, I don't think. So as you can see, the mastery, depending on what you take, it actually gives you some like hard-coded passive bonuses regardless of what else you have equipped. So 50% more damage while we use a bow. We get 5% increased attack speed at it's up to 5 stacks. If we went Blade Dancer, we would get a shadow, which is like a minion that we can like proc to. I think it mimics abilities, kind of like Void Knight. Extra physical damage and more dodge rating, and then it gives you a starting skill for that mastery. But we're gonna go Marksman with this character. And you can't respec this. You can respec your points, but you can't respec your mastery. So if you wanted to try Blade Dance, you'd have to make another rogue. Well, as you can see, I mean, you get it pretty fast. I don't, like, that's not... Why is there a lightning bolt for detonating arrow? I thought it was an explosion. That's weird.
I see that you are still you. That strength will be necessary if our world, our reality, is to have any hope.
So in order to actually put points into your second tree here, you have to have 20 points in your baseline one. And you can go, so you have full access to whichever one you pick. But you can do up to half of the other tree if you want to mix and match any skills. You can go up to this chain. So I'm going to put 1 point into... I guess I'll put 1 point into this dodge rating and resistance. Because I probably want to get this haste for dodging AoEs later on and for better movement. Okay, so our marksman, we have to put 5 points in to get multi-shot, 15 to get dark quiver, 30 for hail of arrows. We can actually get shadow cascade and synchronized strike if it was worth it. However, for rogue, I don't think it'd be worth going because you would need to dual wield or have a melee weapon for it. So like this class, you kind of don't necessarily want to split, but like what else is in here? Gain a stack of flow when you use a unique skill. Using a 4th unique skill consumes all stacks and causes the skill to deal greatly increased damage. That's saying if you go across your full bar and you proc all your abilities, the last one you proc in order gets bonus damage. But that doesn't say there's any restriction on it. Just that you can't spam the same skill 4 times. Increased melee and throwing attack, we probably wouldn't take that. Have additional dexterity and you have a chance of receiving a glancing blow. Like this might be worth putting some points in. Because dexterity will scale all of our damage and whatnot. Mana, efficiency, attack speed. Melee and throwing, yeah, so that wouldn't be worth it. You create a shadow, so we wouldn't have access to that ability on marksman. Chance to gain Dusk Shroud, which is extra dodge. So it might be worth putting a couple points in here, at least for this defensive line, if we wanted to go that route. This increased chance to bleed wouldn't work because it's melee and throwing attacks for us. If we look at our marksman tree. Increased bow attack speed, and when you use a bow attack to hit at least one enemy, you regain health. So there's seemingly a lot of sustain in the bow line. You have additional dexterity, and when you hit a boss or rare enemy, you reduce its dodge rating for 8 seconds. You can get extra damage and critical strike chance. Concentration's a buff we have by default. If we're hit by an enemy within 4 meters, we lose concentration for 4 seconds. So that's how good can you kite and how good can you dodge mechanics damage bonus there. Increased bow and throwing attack damage, and you have a chance to shred armor. Elemental arrows. You gain 1 elemental arrow per second while moving up to 3. Using a bow attack expends an arrow to deal additional bow fire damage and bow lightning damage. Interesting. If you want to go elemental damage instead of physical and status ailment, there's a skill line for that. Take less damage over time. While wielding a bow, you deal increase. Okay, so you take less damage over time yourself and deal more damage over time. Chance to inflict critical vulnerability. Adds an additional 2% chance to be crit. Stacks up to 10 times, so you can max it at 20% chance to be crit. And it eventually zeroes out their critical strike avoidance. Because every stack reduces critical strike avoidance by 10%. We can get our own critical strike avoidance, more health. Extra attack speed. Alright, so there's a couple different ways we can go in that marksman tree. Take a look into that later on. I think for now I'm going to get off and get dinner ready because it's 7 o'clock. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget, this will be out in version 1.0 next week. I don't know yet if it's gonna if we're gonna reset. If not, I might just roll new characters, but we'll see what happens. But I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you're catching the upload on YouTube, you want to come hang out live, twitch.tv/MrSibs. I'll catch you next time.